Hello everybody, I am so exhausted. I have the greatest headache in the world. Type of look right now. How are you feeling? I guess the topic of today is verbal abuse. Men who verbally abuse women, not to say that women don't do the same to men, but if that is a conversation that you're looking for, you won't find it here. So this kind of came about, I believe, by a comic that Kaylah posted on her Facebook. The comic, as Kayla has already mentioned, is basically a woman who is being verbally abused on the road by a slew of men, finding it necessary to catcall at her, to insult her, to use pejorative, derogatory term to get her attention because, if somebody doesn't want to talk to you, the best thing to do is call them a little shithead and ask them to suck your dick. I think what this comic did best was to demonstrate visually the power dynamic in society between both genders, male and female. Because in this comic, the woman is hunched over the whole time, and you could see the burden, how much she's been burdened by the pejorative terms that these men use against her. As Kayla said, like, she's literally hunched over as she walks, and it's almost as if she's protecting herself, concealing herself, hiding within herself from the pain, the literal verbal pain that these men are inflicting on her. So in light of this whole thing, it just reminded me of a situation that I was also once placed in. When I was about 16 or 17 years old, you would think that you wouldn't expect a 16-year-old to be. I don't know what it is, but you want to have the feeling that in this shitty world, at least kids are safe. But we know that that's an idealistic dream that will never be possible. I was 16, heading to work, and I worked in this isolated area. And there was this old man in a car, and there's nobody around me. I'm all by myself. I'm quite in a vulnerable situation, even though it's daylight, and you wouldn't expect anything to happen to you in daylight, even though we know better. Here comes this man, insert this old, grungy, crusty-looking, rich old man driving a nice car, old. Can I re-emphasize the fact that he is old? I'm not kidding. This guy was fucking old. And then he calls on to me, and I'm thinking that it's innocent. He's calling my name. I would say hello to anybody that was calling my name. So he asked me if I was working, and the innocent person that I was at the time, thinking, yeah, I am working. That's exactly where I'm heading right now. What he really meant was, will you have sex with me for money? Mortified is not even the right word to describe exactly how I felt. I felt vulnerable. I felt very violated in this really perverse way. And I didn't understand why. I mean, now thinking back at it, part of it has to do with the fact that I live in a culture that really demonizes sex work, and being associated with a sex worker at the time was really disgusting, and it made me feel bad. But we can't take this out of the power dynamic that existed. He is an older man. He has a car. I'm a younger woman, visible minority. I'm on foot. Anything could happen. Like, anything could happen. So, I was in a very vulnerable situation, and I think that was quite apparent to me even then. I was in a very vulnerable situation. I felt very violated. I felt as if my body, in some odd way, had just been claimed by this random guy that I didn't know, who assumed, even though I was dressed in a non-provocative fashion, that I would fuck him for money. Preposterous. What I think that this comic strip really gets down at is this power dynamic, this really unequalness in society. Men are supposed to be, and I say supposed to on purpose, because we know that not all men are dominating or oppressive, but there's this narrative of masculinity that encompasses being dominative. And this comic strip, the men are literally just playing what they're supposed to play as part of this patriarchal society. Obviously, that is not what every single guy is. Let me just re-emphasize that. That is not even where I'm trying to go with this. That is not what I'm trying to say. There is a certain narrative that's associated with a patriarchal society that men are dominating and women are subservient. And throughout the comic strip, the woman is clearly in a very vulnerable position. And in the end, when she speaks to her husband about the whole situation, he makes her feel like an idiot for even questioning why this should be happening. It's really shitty. So if you think that in some way it's really sassy for you to verbally abuse any woman, and you think that maybe she will like to hear that, she would like to hear that her mouth should go on your dick, then maybe you need to reanalyze really where you're coming from. Check yourself, check yourself. Anyway, thank you so much for coming to watch this video. It's really great. I'm sorry that I haven't been making videos really recently. Shit happened, life happened, exam is happening. Hey, yeah, Canada's like all exam right now. I know Americans probably have a different time frame than we do, but alas, I'm suffering, and it's all gonna be done soon, and I'm gonna be back to regular scheduling and making videos for you awesome people that care to watch. Alright, so talk to you later.